There's a ghost inside the wheat that grows, hungry for the sky, straining with his brothers all for the light that falls on the high, reaching up past the clouds. Sun is the finishing post. Desire is the fire fueling the hungry ghost.
Bread is the basis of a third of the civilizations on the planet. We're all grain civilizations, essentially. You're a rice or a corn or a wheat civilization. Those are the three big ones. Bread is huge. It's ancient. People have been making it for at least 16,000 years. It's what allows for language and culture and music and engagement since the Neolithic Revolution. Well, the bakery started out in my home in Leverett about 6 years ago. I had started home baking 6 or 7 years before that when I was a stay-at-home dad and my kids were in school, and so I had to rejoin the workforce, as it were, which is something I've always dreaded in my life and never been very good at. So I decided to try and up my bread making skills, and I foolishly didn't go to school or work for somebody else's bakery. I just went ahead and did it. When we first opened, it was just my partner Cheryl, me, and our 4 young children, and it was crazy. For most of humanity's civilized history, bread is the center of the plate, and the veggies and tiny little bit of meat that you maybe got off a rabbit or sacrificed a goat and shared it with the village, you know, that complemented the bread. Because it's real, it feeds people. You're actually contributing to people's well-being and their health. They receive it as a gift, even though they're buying it from you. If you're making it with the right intention and the right ingredients, then it is a gift. The payment is to cover the costs, but the effort you're putting into it is a gift. People understand it as such. And when they bite into the bread, they definitely do. And that is it's an honor to be able to give people gifts like that. It really is an honor. That is the magic of the grain, really, because the grain vertically and horizontally is connecting wheat breeders and farmers and agronomists and then millers, of course, and the people who build the mills, and then the flour companies, and then the people who sell the flour, but certainly then the bakers and the customers. You know, the economy doesn't stop at the baker. It flows both ways and it goes around too. They're not just monetary exchange economies. They're economies of concern and well-being and values. In a nutshell, sourdough means you're fermenting the dough. Each batch of dough that we're doing gets inoculated by some of the wild yeast starter culture that we keep going every day. We feed it twice a day. We're essentially wild yeast farmers. So we're inoculating a slurry of flour and water with this good bacteria and wild yeast. That ferments the dough. The fermentation of the dough neutralizes the phytic acids that are in wheat. The phytic acids block human absorption of nutrients. So you neutralize those phytic acids, you can access those nutrients. It's as simple as that. So a sourdough white loaf is going to be more digestible and have more accessible nutrients than a yeasted whole wheat bread. bread making has a kind of humility built into it that's good for the spirit. It's a craft, so there's a humility every day, and in the changes in the flour and the atmosphere and whatever's going on with the starter, you have to pay attention. You are the servant of the grain. That's just the way it is.
Gone alright, still something white has settled in some of the trees. The orchards are gay, hoisted her sail, sending a scent on the breeze. I am the apple, silk paper petal, blooming in May for me. Flower of a fruit that will follow suit. You be the blossom, I'll be the bee.
Cherry galette and blueberry sage.
Cherry Galette. That's a drag name.